seeing right now, big transfer, man. Former Oklahoma University freshman quarterback Caleb Williams just announced that he's going to be transferring to University of Southern Cal following his collegiate coach, Lincoln Riley. Now, this was interesting because obviously, for those that don't know, Caleb Williams had beat out Spencer Rattler, who was the supposed to be all-world quarterback, Heisman favorite, future number 1 overall draft pick. He beat him out this year, 3 games in, 2-3 games in, became the starting quarterback, and kept the reins, man. Had some really impressive plays. Obviously, he's a guy that could be on our radar down the line, and that's obviously why we got to keep talking about these type of guys like him, man. But initially, man, I guess my thought, I kind of like the move for him in the sense that, man,
not?
It's like, yo, you had the most success that you had when you were with Lincoln at OU. You beat out Spencer, and obviously Lincoln took the job at USC. If you know his system, you trust him as a coach, and he's a pretty good coach. He happens to be the quarterback whisperer. If you think about how many guys he gets, as number 1 overall draft picks and stuff like that, it makes a lot of sense to me, man.
They also added a receiver, Mario Williams. I don't know where he's from, but I'm checking out the depth chart right now. He should be the starter right
because
off the
both
bat,
of the quarterbacks out of USC already transferred, right? We got the one that came to Pitt, and then I thought,
Slovis.
what did the other? Wasn't another guy I thought was leaving too?
So they have right on the roster right now Caleb Williams at 1. This is like a USC fan site.
Correct.
They have Caleb Williams 1, so they're assuming he's going to be the starter. Miller Moss. I'm sorry, I was going to say Miller Moses, but then Mo Hassan as the second and third guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
If you're going to be going anywhere, why not go to the place where you have a QB, like you said, QB whisperer potentially in Lincoln Riley?
I mean, you
think
about
Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray,
Dude,
Heisman back to back.
Who are you forgetting in between?
And
though?
first overall picks.
What about your boy? Oh man,
Sam Bradford? No,
Jalen.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he's the other one. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. I was like, yo, he was the other guy. Yes,
he had a good little career with Oklahoma.
Absolutely, man.
At that time, coming out of Alabama, him getting benched for Tua. Man, was he going to be a late round pick? It was almost like the Pickett situation.
No, seriously, yeah.
He goes to Oklahoma, had a really nice senior year, or maybe 5th year. I don't know what you would want to call that for Jalen. And then he gets drafted in the 2nd round.
Yeah. Now, for those that have not watched Caleb Williams, man, if you haven't, I strongly encourage you to pull up some of his OU tape. I mean, he can throw the ball, but he has good size in his running ability. He is like, almost kind of put you in the mind of like a Cam Newton type quarterback, man. I think initially that's where I'm at with him, man, in terms of like a comp, like that style of player, in terms of like OG Cam, not new Cam Newton, like the old, like early on in Carolina, really can run that rock, man. And can improvise as well, man. We saw him do some of that, obviously, in some of his games this year, man. Shoot, got him out of that Kansas game, actually, with some of his improvisation.
Yeah, so Miller Moss, there's no question Williams will be the starter. He was a 4-star recruit, freshman. So with what Caleb Williams did last year at Oklahoma, and Miller Moss is their second guy, there's no doubt about it. That's a good move at USC. Good program, too.
I like it. No, I do like it for him, man. I do like it. I wonder what that means for Spencer Rattler, though, now. You going to be the big man on campus? Or are you leaving, too? Because I thought he was in the portal as well. Yes, he's in the portal.
Because initially with Caleb Williams, he entered the portal, but he was thinking about coming back. I guess that's some rule in the portal where you could just do whatever the hell you want.
I thought for me, when I thought that Spencer entered the portal first, and then Caleb entered after the Lincoln Riley news came out.
Well, he went to South Carolina.
Oh, you're right. Gamecocks. Yeah,
I completely forgot about that. He's been kind of out of my mind outside of those mock drafts that are popping up that have him in the top 15. He's got to do well with South Carolina, though. That's the only way.
Yeah. I could dig it, man.
He definitely disappointed this year. Definitely.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, though, to follow those two dudes, man, to see how their trajectories go these next, year, 2 years as well, man.
You want to make a bet on it? Who has the better next year? I'd say Williams probably, because, he's got Lincoln Riley.
That part I agree with. The other part, though, I wonder for Spencer.
Probably some lesser competition, too, out in the Pac-12 going up against those defenses.
But see, for me, I think of Spencer, and I say to myself, well, now you don't have any expectations again. Now it's back lowered on you when you don't have that pressure. You're going to South Carolina. It's not that you're going to Alabama either, where it's like, oh, you have to be perfect and win.
He's probably an upgrade from what they have. They're probably excited about him.
I could easily see a scenario where he cooks at South Carolina because he doesn't have any pressure. But at the same time, the decision-making was his issue. It wasn't necessarily a talent thing. And that's for both of the guys, Caleb Williams and Spencer Rattler. Caleb has all the intangibles. Caleb can throw the ball. He can run the ball. He has the size as well. But he made better decisions. The reason why Spencer got benched, it wasn't that Spencer couldn't throw the ball or he couldn't run the ball. It was just his decision-making was horrible. It was like he was forcing it, trying to win the Heisman and be the number 1 draft pick all on one play. And that's typically not how it works. But that's what I felt watching a Spencer, whereas now I'm like, you're not going to necessarily have to do that because people are downing you. They're not going to talk about you in that same capacity anymore. So that could just alleviate him and allow him to just free flow and play. Whereas when you talk about Caleb, the expectations, they just went up even higher because you went back to your guy. This is the guy that we know you had success with. So now we're expecting bare minimum what you did at OU, but this is also USC, more eyes on you. We also feel like, hey, man, you're going to be talked about as a top prospect all of a sudden, as a Heisman candidate all of a sudden. Like, it's just different because that's what Spencer dealt with all offseason. And we saw early on, he forced. It got to him. That's what I want to see with Caleb, how he responds to that, though.
Yeah.
Because like I said, both of those guys, depending on how our quarterback situation works out, even if we take a Malik Willis, it's no guarantee that he works out. And in 2-3 years, we might be right back here like, yo, you know what? We need a quarterback again.
Yeah, Rattler will be
and
this
now one
year.
of these dudes, yeah.
Williams would be, what, in 2 years?
2 years, yeah. So it's
Do you like him as a pro prospect though right now?
Which one? Rattler or Williams?
Rattler, I mean, he's up in the air right now. But
yeah, Rattler, if his decision-making was better, I like him. Caleb has a ton of intangibles. I have to watch more of him, though. I will be honest.
We got to watch more up against too.
Yeah, that's my thing because it's like I do think he has a lot of things that you like about a quarterback, especially the newer versions of quarterbacks. Like, man, when he takes off the run, like it looks legit. Like he can go to the crib. Some of the things we talk about with Malik, he can do those same things. I just need to see, like, all right,
that was
need to see more of it. Yeah, it was freshman year. Not a lot of tape on you. And the expectations, it's a lot easier to play well when the expectations are down.